I'm continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. Right now, I am still in the Book of Judges. I will be reading chapter 20. This will be continuing the story of in chapter 19, we read about the Levite who had his concubine murdered through sexual abuse in the town of Gibeah. We will now see what the rest of Israel's reaction is to this. Chapter 20 is somewhat long, so I may have to divide it into two videos. Once we are finished with this particular story, which will be chapter 20 and then 21, I will return to earlier in the book of Judges, back to chapter 13. And we'll read about Samson. Much more enjoyable story. But let us read chapter 20. All Israel arises against Benjamin, who refused to deliver up the men of Gibeah. Benjamites are smitten and destroyed. Okay. Remember, at the end of chapter 19, the Levite took the dead body of his concubine wife, cut it into 12 pieces, and shipped it out to the 12 tribes, asking them what they thought should be done. So here we go. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man from Dan even to Beersheba, with the land of Gilead unto the Lord in Mizpah. And the chief of all the people, even of all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 footmen that drew sword. Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were gone up to Mizpah. Then said the children of Israel, Tell us, how was this wickedness? And the Levite, the husband of the woman that was slain, answered and said, I came into Gibeah, that belongeth to Benjamin, I and my concubine to lodge, and the men of Gibeah rose against me, and beset the house round about upon me by night, and thought to have slain me, and my concubine have they forced, that she is dead. And I took my concubine and cut her in pieces, and sent her throughout all the country of the inheritance of Israel, for they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel. Behold, ye are all children of Israel. Give here your advice and counsel. So in other words, this act was so horrible that it couldn't be dealt with by just one person. Something like this had never happened before. And it was something that needed all of Israel to weigh in on and decide what needed to be done. But you will recall in the law of Moses, he said, if these things happened, if a town was given over to idol worship, you were supposed to destroy the entire town, stamp it out, just eliminate it. And it would be the same thing in this case. These men should have been, the city of Gibeah should have turned the men over to be executed. When the city refused to, the rest of the tribe of Benjamin should have gone in and destroyed the city. But they didn't. They defended, the city defended the men, and the tribe defended the city. Verse 8. And all the people arose as one man, saying, We will not any of us go to his tent, neither will we any of us turn into his house. But now this shall be the thing which we will do to Gibeah. We will go up by lot against it, and we will take 10 men of 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and 100 of 1,000, and 1,000 of 10,000, to fetch victual for the people, that they may do when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin, according to all the folly that they have wrought in Israel. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. Now it says as one man. They're united. They're coming together as one. Everybody is in agreement here. They're going to send out 10% of their force to go against the city and destroy it. That's the plan. And they're not just picking them out. They're drawing lots on who's going to go. 1 out of every 10 men is going to go. Now, I do want to point out this. Earlier on it says, even from Dan even to Beersheba. Dan is in the far north. Because remember, that was in the story of Micah, the migration of the Danites. They have their one in the central west area, but they went up and they took the area in the north. So they're the farthest north. They're in the center on the far north. Beersheba is down in Simeon in the far south. So this is saying everybody, the entire nation of Israel, all came together, and they're meeting in Gilead and Mizpah, which is just east of Jordan, between the two seas. So everybody's gathering to a central location. They're all agreed this needs to be done. The only tribe that's not there is Benjamin, because Benjamin is defending the people of Gibeah. Verse 12. And the tribes of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, What wickedness is this that is done among you? Now therefore deliver us the men, the children of Belial, which are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death, and put away evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not hearken to the voice of their brethren, the children of Israel. But the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities unto Gibeah, to go out to battle against the children of Israel. And the children of Benjamin were numbered at that time out of the cities 26,000 men that drew sword, beside the inhabitants of Gibeah, which were numbered 700 chosen men. Among all this people there were 700 chosen men left-handed. Every one could sling stones at an hair breadth and not miss. And the men of Israel beside Benjamin were numbered 400,000 men that drew sword. All these were men of war. Now, I did my video on large numbers in the Bible, in the Old Testament, and you might want to check that out. But 42,000, what was it? No, not 40, it was 26,000 against 400,000. But I like that description. We had 700 men, all left-handed, and able to sling a stone at a hairbreadth. In other words, they were able to hit a target no wider than a single hair. That is fun. I like that. But I do want to look up one thing in the Bible dictionary real quick before we continue, because I just had a thought, and I want to see if I can confirm my thought in the Bible dictionary. I get the impression that Gibeah is the same city as Gibeon. And if you will recall, Gibeon was a Hivite city that tricked Israel into making a treaty with them. Back in the story of Joshua, in the book of Joshua, that they disguised themselves, made themselves look like they had come from a far distance and wanted to be friendly to Israel. And so Joshua made a league with them because he forgot to ask God about it first. And Gibeon is a city about 5 miles north of Jerusalem. Now in chapter 19, he said they were going from Bethlehem up to Ephraim, and they passed by Jerusalem. And the servant wanted to stop in Jerusalem, and the Levite said, no, we're going to keep going. We got these other two towns not too far away, the Ramah or Gibeah. So Gibeah was very close to Jerusalem, so was Gibeon. And it gives me the impression that Gibeon and Gibeah are just two different spellings of the same name. One's a later spelling. And that seems to track, because this would have been the town of... This would have been a Canaanite town, and there were some of the Canaanites that were remaining in Israel. Now, they may have spread them out a bit, sent them to different areas, but they would have maintained a significant presence in their hometown of Gibeah. And so now we have, of course, they were considered Benjamites, because it says in chapter 9 that they were Benjamites of this city. But it seems that the remnant of the original Gibeonites were likely very much influential in this entire thing. I'm not going to read any more here, but I will say that, once again, most everybody here is not acting well. Now, Israel, the rest of Israel is actually acting properly. The Levite, he got them all together. He said, okay, what do we do? They said, we need to take care of this. All of them were in agreement. We send the men in. They go into Benjamin, but they don't just attack Benjamin. They just say, oh, we're going to wipe out the tribe. No, they go in and say, look, these men are evil. And according to the law, they need to be executed. So turn them over. Let's go execute them. Benjamin refuses. Not only does Benjamin refuse, but all the men of war of Benjamin go to defend Gibeah. They go and protect the city of Gibeah. So the entire tribe of Benjamin is in the wrong here. Israel is actually doing what's right, at least for now. We will pick this up in the next video.